got interested in metal detecting at a young age, and my dad's the one that got me into it. In the 80s, we hunted parks a lot, but then in the early 1990s, when the Great Salt Lake water levels started going down, my dad started hunting out at the Great Salt Lake at a resort called Saltair. And Saltair was built in the late 1800s. I've been kind of, I guess you could say, obsessed with all the beach resorts that were along the Great Salt Lake, and I did a lot of research over the years to figure out, where they all were, and found a lot of those. And so I'm going to show you some of those that are out here still, and most of them you can't hunt anymore, unfortunately. But so I'm walking up in an area which would have been approximately the old shoreline of the Great Salt Lake here, where Garfield Beach, and down there would have been Lake Point. So now we've got the freeway running by here, 2 lanes of traffic each direction that's basically covered the old area of Garfield Beach and Lake Point down there. So if you line the photo up in the book, this piece of mountain right back here lines up with Garfield Beach, which was set up right over here, covered by basically the tracks and the freeway now. There used to be a rest stop on the other side of the freeway that you could pull off and get out and see the old pilings that were down between the tracks and the freeway where the water is. And then if you look right down here by the freeway, between the tracks and the freeway, is the old shoreline. You can see it down there. So the train ran in here, dropped people off. Garfield Beach was actually down this way a little more, right down in here. That's where the beach would have been, and there was a piling system that went out to the water, and you can see it on this picture of the structure, what it was like. So basically the resort that was here, Garfield Beach, is long gone, destroyed. And Lake Point would have been right down there off the point of the mountain down there, and obviously it's long gone too. Okay, so this is Black Rock. It's been designated a historic part of the California National Historic Trail, so it's right down there. We'll take a walk down there. Got a parking lot here you can walk down to, but this part of the beach too is also one you're going to want to stay away from. Since it has been designated a historic site, you're going to want to stay away from it and not metal detect here. Otherwise, you're just going to get yourself in trouble. So the entrance to the trail down to Black Rock, you've got a sign here that tells about the area and the history of the swimming beach. You can see right here the Heber C. Kimball home, 1880s. So the beach was old then. And then here's the 1930s. But if you look at that picture and you look at Black Rock now, you can tell that the Heber C. Kimball home stood back here where the freeway was now, so it's long gone. And portions of the beach that are back that direction, which it's underneath the railroad tracks, this trail, and all these weeds that grow along the shore of the lake, basically are covering the old parts of the beach. So the only thing you've got out here is newer stuff. So 1930s and on, and now that it's off limits, you're not even going to want to hunt it. But let's walk down there. All right, this is about as close as I'm going to get to Black Rock, but you can see Black Rock sitting right over here, and then all the beach that's out here. I'm standing up on the railroad tracks, and I believe that the Heber C. Kimball home was probably back even further than this. You've got the old shoreline. It looks like back here there's water and trees down in the old area where the shoreline was, and you've got the freeway and the tracks built over basically all of the old beach. So back when the water was way high, all of this area that's covered with trees and brush out there now was all water. This road that came out here was not here back then. So a lot of the old stuff has been buried underneath the tracks, the freeway, and the trail that's coming out here. So really not a lot left here to detect anyway, although back in the day when you could detect out there and find stuff from the 1930s, because a lot of this roadway and stuff was built then, and it was used quite heavily into the 1960s when it wasn't popular to come out here anymore. And Saltair was built in the late 1800s out at the Great Salt Lake. In the early 90s, we kind of followed the water out to where Saltair is now, you know, picking up old coins and jewelry along the way. And I'm walking out there right now. You can no longer metal detect out here because the state historical, I guess, archaeologists decided that they wanted to do a dig out here, and so it all got closed off. Coming up on the sign that they actually built, and it's been shot to crap. There are a lot of people mad about the fact that it got shut down for metal detecting, but you know, I've honored the request and I haven't come out here. But basically, we've got a shot up sign here that tells about Saltair, and somewhere on there it says that you can't metal detect. Yeah, prohibits metal detecting and other looting activities. You know, they consider it looting. You know, I won't go off on that tangent, but you know, from the early this place burned down, and shortly after that, people were out here metal detecting, and I don't know what it hurts, but you know, they decided to shut it down. But it was going on for 50, 60 years before they decided that it was something that they didn't want to happen anymore. I remember coming out here on weekends and there'd be 20, 30 people out here, families digging bottles and metal detecting and just having a good time. And I guess they're all looters, but you know, whatever. I enjoyed the early years out here metal detecting in the early 90s, and then I kind of got out of it in the early 2000s coming out here. And so I think it was, what it is, 2023 now, I believe about 6 years ago is when they shut this down to metal detecting altogether. So this is the old railroad track causeway I'm walking down right now, right here in front of me. And we'll get out there and look at what's left of Saltair. This is basically what's left. You've got concrete, pilings, and trash everywhere. This would have been the far right side if you were looking out towards the lake. And then over here to my left is where the resort made the U shape and had the bathing area in front of it. You know, I don't know that the archaeologists ever even came out here and did a dig. I mean, it looks about the same as when I used to come out here. People would dig, you know, there's evidence here still of people digging bottles. There's a piece of glass on the ground. You know, pieces of porcelain, all types of things just kind of scattered all over the ground. Pretty trashy area. This is basically where the resort stood. So the Great Salt Lake Marine is another area that you can come to. Well, it's the only area that you can come to and actually metal detect anymore. So you'll enter down here, pay your fee, and then you can enter the beach in 2 different areas, and I'll show you where those are. All right, so the fee's $5 to get into the park, and then we'll want to go to the visitor center that's right up here and ask them about metal detecting. Usually they're pretty good about letting you go. Some of them will make you fill out a permit to go, but then you've got 2 beach accesses here, and the first one is Silver Sands. So this is Silver Sands Beach. This is mostly from the 1960s, but you can see that there's the possibility of fresh drops down here. So your other access is down here by the marina. Marina's starting to fill with water again, you can see there. But the access here is Sunset Beach, which says right here. So you'll follow the signs down. We'll walk down here, but gonna go down this trail across the dike that goes around the marina and then drop off onto the beach. So right here is your access to Sunset Beach. Basically, you walk down off of here, and then all this, there's a little point that comes out. You can see Black Rock there in the distance. So between here and that point is Sunset Beach, and it's open to hunting. And it goes back towards the marina here, the dike. But water's coming in this year, and it'll probably fill up quite a bit. So I don't think there's going to be too much metal detecting from, you know, middle of May on, and summertime's not a really good time to come down here anyway, because there's a ton of gnats, and I'm actually getting bitten by gnats right now. So, but this is another area you can come, and then basically you got the two areas that you can hunt anymore: Sunset Beach, Silver Sands Beach. Now Sunset Beach is a little bit older. It was from basically the 1930s and used through the 1960s, so you do have the opportunity to find a little bit of older stuff here. '50s. Oh, there it is. I can see it. It's gold.
Nice.
Right there. Nice band. Got a 30 signal here, 30, 32, 33. There's that gray sand, so it'll probably be in that. It's like a, oh, got a ring. Nice. Oh yeah. Nice little 10 carat with a stone in it. That's a beauty. Yeah, liking that. And man, is it deep. I mean, the top of my pinpointer's right there. So it's 9 plus another 7 inches. That's 16 inches deep. And I've got the target here up in the pile now. Let's see, and it's on vibrate. I can already see it. It's a ring. Yeah, it's a gold band. That's cool. All right, that thing was deep. Wow, man. All right, that's a nice find today. That's the target's right in the bottom. Got it pinpointed. Let's see. It's right there. Hole's a good, oh geez, probably 13 inches. Target is right here. Yeah, I believe I got it out right there. I think it's a ring. I don't think it's gold. I think it's probably silver. Get a hold of it here. Oh no, it's gold. Yeah, that's cool.
I didn't expect that to be gold. It looked pretty dirty when I first got it out, but yeah, that's a gold band.
So as I walk out of here, I just kind of think of, you know, what the world's coming to as metal detectorists and as other sports enthusiasts. We're getting the places that we love shut down, and I don't know if it's our fault. I mean, some of it I'm sure is our fault, but as a detectorist, you know, our resources are getting depleted. You can hunt a place for years and then come back, and as more and more people find out about it and more people detect, those areas get depleted to the point where there's nothing else left. So, you know, I'm not sure how much longer we're going to be able to do this. You know, it's like the spots that have gold nuggets or relics, or no matter what your favorite thing is for metal detecting, those places are kind of going away. But I hope to keep doing this a couple more years, at least 10 years, 15 years. Hopefully I can keep coming up with enough places to go and enough ventures to do. But appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you next time.